Hi everyone, how you going? My name is Rami, I'm an entrepreneur.
Why has a chilly island in the North Atlantic become a crucial frontier in the occult, high-stakes world of cryptocurrency mining? An unremarkable
cryptocurrency
of sheds on the western cluster of the Nordic nation might just hold the answer. So join us today as we follow the money and take a peek inside Iceland's insane Bitcoin supermine. About a decade ago, the first proper real-world Bitcoin transaction took place when one Laszlo Harnieks infamously purchased 2 hot and juicy Papa John's pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. Those 10,000 coins were only worth, at the time, around $40.
Wow, $40, I think that the 40,000 US today. Whoa, where was I?
Delicious as the pizzas no doubt were, if he'd only kept hold of those Bitcoins, they'd by now be worth somewhere north of $280 million. Created by a shadowy, mysterious figure, or perhaps group, going by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto.
Why doesn't the founder, the person who come out with this coin, why don't we know, or the company, why can't we know who they are? I would love to know. I think that's the biggest secret for me. If I know that, oh my God, and we could invest all our money in Bitcoin and all be rich, just tell me who it is.
Created via computer processes which use raw mathematics and sheer computational horsepower to underwrite the value of transactions. As opposed to conventional monetary systems which are backed by central banks, cryptocurrencies rely on the mathematical certitude of a decentralized ledger known as a blockchain. Cryptocurrencies are ingeniously summoned into being by a process of so-called mining. Instead of shovels and pickaxes, modern-day cryptocurrency miners simply require an internet-linked computer that can solve or hash big number problems which are then added to the blockchain.
I still don't get that mining. I've got to be honest with you. Like, I get mining, we mine for gold, we mine for oil, we mine for coal. I get it, right? But how can we mine for numbers? And I understand a little bit. I understand it's all link chains. So what happens is you get this special number and it's linked to another number and there's no way this number can link with this number again. That's how you protect your Bitcoin. But what do you mean we're mining for more numbers? That part, if you get it, comment below because I don't understand. But anyway, maybe this video will explain to me a little bit more.
Back in the day, crypto pioneers could run humble mining operations on home laptops, extracting coins almost as a background process, for instance while they slept. Fast forward to today, however, and that sort of amateur setup simply doesn't cut it anymore. Vast server farm-style operations have sprung up around the world to take advantage of what many have described as a modern-day gold rush. One such operation is situated within a series of ordinary-looking sheds by an abandoned World War II airstrip on a sprawling former US Air Force base near Keflavik Airport in the west of Iceland. Its rivals are everywhere, literally wherever there's an internet connection, but most notably in places like Russia, China, Canada, Venezuela, and the United States. Every 10 minutes, roughly, a prize of 6.25 Bitcoins is released and someone, somewhere will get lucky. The more computer power you have on your side, naturally, the luckier you're likely to get.
Okay, so if I'm hearing correctly, so people around the world are mining, and then Bitcoin, whoever that is, buys it off them. That's what I'm hearing here. Pretty sure that's what I'm hearing. If you follow something else, please comment, but that's what I'm following.
This Icelandic operation, called Enigma and run by 8-year-old cryptocurrency bigwigs Genesis, was established in 2014. The last time journalists paid a visit, in 2018, there were tens of thousands of individual computers working flat out around the clock mining coins. Each of the many thousands of identical units boasted its own fan, and the ceiling of the sheds were supported by 6 giant ceiling turbines that were 24/7.
So that's to keep the computers cool. But what about if the power goes out? What happens then? I hope they got some good generators. Oh my God. And look at all the wires, like, I don't know. But I want to invest in Bitcoin. I haven't invested yet.
This constant cool airflow is essential to keep the computational hardware at optimal working temperatures. That's because any burnout or interruption to the mining process literally costs money, with individual coins trading at many hundreds of dollars. Potentially millions are at stake, so for the technicians overseeing the Enigma facility, failure really isn't an option. The electricity bills at Enigma reportedly run to more than $1 million a month, and with each computing unit costing a few $1,000s to buy and install, there's tens of millions of pounds in assets humming away constantly.
$1 million electricity bill a month? I'm investing in Bitcoin. Somebody knows something. Someone knows something. That's a lot of money, just electricity. So can you imagine the labor, the hardware? What else do you want? Like so many things. Like that's next level. And I'm guessing you're not some guy from like the streets who's working in that sort of place. You've got to have some sort of degree, understand programming, you've got to understand, it's just, someone knows something, I'm telling you right now.
No wonder security is tight, not least since a major spree of thefts a couple of years back saw some $2 million of crypto mining tech taken from their rightful owners in a series of raids around Iceland. It's worth looking at these computers in detail, because they're actually a far cry from the standard PCs you use at home or work. Instead, each unit consists of a main board, and into each main board is plugged 6 GPUs, or graphics processing units. Crypto mining experts have found that these GPUs are far more efficient at the kind of lightning-fast number crunching required to solve those all-important hashing problems.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking, where have I been? I just had a look down on the screen and this video was posted on the 7th of January. If I saw that earlier, I would have already bought Bitcoin. So if you're watching this, jump on now. And I'm not now advertising no Bitcoin, but I'm telling you, someone knows something. Wow, I'm stunned. I'm honestly stunned. I did not understand. I mean, obviously it's worth a lot. Hang on a second. I'm going to give myself an uppercut here. It's worth 40,000 today, right? 40,000 US for one Bitcoin. There's more behind it. Come on. Look, I'm busy in my own businesses and we're currently in a COVID world. I guess I shouldn't be so hard on myself. But yes, there's something in it.
Particularly in a competitive marketplace. So companies like Genesis frequently order direct from the manufacturer, even insisting on modifications to the boards in order to improve efficiency and manage costs at scale. For their Enigma facility in Iceland, Genesis have also created a dedicated smart hardware monitoring software known as Genesis Hive. This is important. If part of your giant mining system goes down, you really don't want to be personally going around each of the tens of thousands of computers, all of them with 6 GPUs, your soldering iron and screwdriver in hand, to identify that one annoying dodgy wire. The Hive software also makes recommendations for firmware updates and keeps an eye on those all-important temperatures, advising when a region of the facility is drifting outside agreed tolerances. Genesis set up their Enigma facility in Iceland partly because the temperatures are low, rarely going above 57 degrees Fahrenheit.
Hey, it makes sense, right? Computers heat up, they use Iceland. It makes sense, yeah. I'm stunned. There's a lot of thinking behind it. Obviously, Iceland is cheap land. Electricity, I guess they're using some sort of solar paneling, I hope. Well, they have to be. They have to be generating their own power for that. That would require a lot of power. I'm absolutely blown away by this video. And the story's been put together very, very well, by the way. So the video's been put together very, very well. Must watch.
Imagine trying to cool all that processing power in the middle of a desert. Indeed, some Genesis competitors have argued it's possible, in places like Texas where regulations are lax and energy is cheap. But nonetheless, it's very hard to imagine the facilities running at anything like optimal efficiency using the technology we have to hand today. Because all that processing is indeed a power-hungry business, and Iceland's cheap and abundant hydroelectric and, to a lesser extent, geothermal energy is an important factor in why the Enigma facility is situated here of all places. The wholesale electricity cost is relatively cheap, which is handy when you can...
You know what I'm thinking, right? So it's in Iceland. The people, the staff, you have to get there. You know, you're not in a major city. You're not in a populated city. So you're actually paying people special dollars, like a lot of money, to go to Iceland and live there and work in this computer hub. Yeah, some heavy, heavy thinking. And like what I said, you're getting special people to move. So that's very, very expensive. It would not be cheap. To ask somebody to move out of their city to go and work in another city, there's obviously travel money and you'd have to create some sort of entertainment venue for them. You'd have to build almost a city for them, for themselves as well. So, and the fact that it's not somewhere in the States, because I don't know why I'm thinking the States. I mean, they just said Texas, and Texas would be very hot to run all those computers, I guess. That would require a lot of air cons and a lot of cooling material. But the fact that it's not built in Silicon Valley, that also surprises me. I would have thought that Bitcoin started in Silicon Valley without a doubt. Maybe it did start there, and then they decided to move to Iceland. I don't know, look it up. Comment below.
Handy when you consider that, according to some expert estimates, the Enigma plant consumes more juice than all the homes in Iceland put together. In light of the long shadow the industry casts over the Nordic nation, it's perhaps fortunate that Iceland is also receptive to the crypto industry from a political standpoint. Since the country was nigh on bankrupted by financial services overreach during the 2008 credit crunch, it's been seen as a welcoming place for innovative new tech industries just like Bitcoin. However, the power-hungry nature of the mining business isn't to everybody's taste. Environmentalists in particular feel that cryptocurrency mining's insatiable appetite for electricity will lead to more...
There's something else too, yeah, they've chosen Iceland for a reason. Think of the political power that's needed to build those cryptocurrencies. Like if this is built in the States, maybe the government in the States will say, hey, you can't do that. You've got to stop the farming of cryptocurrency or the mining or whatever word you want to use. I've heard farming and mining. So yeah, so it's interesting they've chosen Iceland. Again, some very, very big people are behind it. I understand why there isn't a name for it. This is not one person. This is big. This is Massive now that I see that. I could understand how there would be a government behind it, or governments would probably be the better term. 100%, 100%. Again, I feel like a fool because look how much money's in it, hello, but it makes sense. There's government behind it, 100%.
More rivers being dammed and
Have I said 100% a couple of times?
pristine wilderness. So what does the future hold? It's estimated that the last of Bitcoin's strictly limited run of 21 million coins will have been mined by around the year 2140. That inbuilt scarcity matters, by the way, if the currency is to appreciate in value. So Iceland, with its cool climate, cheap power and largely receptive political scene, looks likely to be a major player for some time yet. Meaning more pizza-loving folks like Laszlo Harnieks could yet exploit the crypto mining boom. And if they're lucky, this time make an honest crust.
Cryptocurrency, huh? Wow. When do I start investing? Have I any money on me? No money. This is something special. The biggest question now is, what is the right time to buy? We all know, we're all following crypto, all different cryptocurrencies. Notably speaking, Bitcoin, and it goes up and down like a yo-yo. Now, what's the right time to invest? At what price? You know, I've heard people say it's going to get to $1 million in the next 12 months. I don't know. You know what I've got actually? I got FOMO at the moment. So I think regardless, I'm gonna buy myself a couple of coins. I have to. I don't care if I lose, but there's no way I'm gonna tell my kids I had a chance to buy Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, and guess what? I didn't. I would not be able to look them in the eyes. That's me anyway. Maybe you're not a risk taker and you're not that way inclined. Like what I said, I suffer from FOMO. Gotta leave. Thank you so much for watching me. I'm gonna go and buy some Bitcoin. See you guys.